Assalamualaikum and good day to everybody who watch this presentation. All right, we continue our lesson with the persuasive speech. All right, I believe that you have done with the informative speech and you have record the video preparing the speech outline and speech tag. All right, and this is actually the second assignment, which is persuasive speech. And this presentation we will look at first the definition of persuasive speech. Second, what are the type of persuasive speech. Third, the three important aspect in persuasion or in persuasive speech. We call it logos, ethos, and pathos. All right, and the established framework that you have to follow if you want to do a persuasive speech. We call it Monroe motivated sequence, and we will do last as conclusion of this presentation. Right, so what is persuasive speech? How we can define persuasive speech? All right, persuasive speech is actually has the goal when has speaker has a goal of convincing the audience to accept his or her point of view. Means we as a speaker, we want the audience to follow what we say in our speech. All right, so why speakers want to convince or want to persuade the audience? There are two reasons. Okay, first is we call it pure persuasion. All right, when the speaker urge listener to engage in a specific behavior or change a point of view because the speaker truly believe that the change is the best. Okay, for example, there are some motivator who want you to change to something else. I mean, someone better. All right, maybe your motivation in to prepare you to take exam. They want you to feel so determined. Okay, so they want you to change from maybe low motivation to highly motivated person. All right, second is a manipulative persuasion. All right, the term is very negative because the speaker is not being honest about the real purpose for attempting to persuade the audience. All right, this is situation we can see especially from the politician, all right, who during his or her speech they want you to vote for their party or for themselves. All right, so at the end of the speech they say, okay, let's vote to us. All right, so they try to manipulate. Maybe the fact and the statement they given is not true, but because they want you to vote for them, then yeah, okay, that's why we call it manipulative persuasion. Other example, maybe if you look at the salesman, of course they will talk about, okay, for example, they he or she want to sell a certain product, a beauty product maybe. All right, they will talk about the bad effect of skin acne and so on, right? And at the end of of he or her speech, they said, okay, please buy our product, okay, which blah blah blah. Okay, you can actually can look you can watch from the YouTube or from the video. All right, how they manipulate all the fact. Okay, the fact may be true or maybe not true, but the objective is to convince and to persuade audience to, at the end of the speech, they will at least buy the product or use the services that taught by them in the speech. Okay, there are actually four type of persuasive speech we have in this type of speech. First, we have definitional claims. Second, we have factual claims. We have policy claims, and we have actually values claim, and you can choose either one when you do your assignment. All right, what is definitional claims? Okay, I will give example of the topic that maybe use a definitional claim. All right, for example, beauty should be defined more than physical look. Okay, at the end of the speech you want to say, okay, this is actually the right definition of the beauty. So you play with the definition and you want to convince the audience that this is actually the correct definition of beauty, rather than usually people say, okay, beautiful is you have a sexy look and blah 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 blah, but you will define more than that, and you want the audience to believe what you say. Okay, second topic that may be a use definitional claims is language proficiency should be measured through communication, not grammar skill. Because most of I think in school, especially in Malaysia, when you're good in grammar or the rules of language, mean you are very good in a language. All right, but then language proficiency have more than that. I mean beyond that. All right, we will look actually not only grammar, but the most important thing is actually your communication skill. Mean the ability for you to use the language, not to learn the language, could play with the definition of language proficiency. Okay, factual claim. Okay, this is an example of a factual claims. The speech that use factual claim. Okay, Albert Einstein is not the smartest human in the world. Okay, so you play with the fact because most people in the world believe that Albert Einstein is the most intelligent or the smartest person in the world. But then, based on your research, they are other person who maybe have a higher IQ level, okay, compared to Albert Einstein. So you play with the fact, okay. And then overweight children are more likely to become overweight adult. Okay, in this speech, you will play with the fact of obesity, right, or overweight children, and you claim that overweight children will, at the end of their life, will become overweight adults. Right? Why? You will explain in your speech, and you want to convince to the audience this is actually what happened to these overweight children. Okay, policy claim, you actually will debate or discuss about the policy that already exists. Okay, for example, we will use the example of our context, which is KPM, like college professional Mara should be open to other races. Why and why not? Okay, so you will actually need to know what is actually the policy of Mara, because we just allow the Bumiputra, Malay Bumiputra only to KPM. So if we open it, what happened? Is it okay, or should not we open it to other races? Okay, we play with the policy, and at the end of the speech, you want the audience to believe what we say. All right, number two, COVID-19 vaccination should not be forced to all people. Okay, we have now actually, I'm not sure the implementation, maybe the implementation is the government of Malaysia want to force uh, all people, to vaccine, okay, because we have COVID-19. Is it okay or not? Okay, you will debate it, and at the end of the day, you have to choose you want or you don't want to vaccine. Okay, and they is it the people should be be the right to choose they want whether they want to vaccine or not. All right, so you will explain and discuss in your speech. And last is values claim. Okay, this is an example of a values claim. For example, online games bring more disadvantages to teenagers. All right, so you talk about, is it the online game give benefit or actually give drawbacks or disadvantages to teenagers? And at the end of the speech, you want to convince the audience that say online game basically give more a negative aspect to teenagers, especially a safer environment with the LGBT in Malaysia. All right, you want to say that, yeah, because nowadays LGBT people want to want their right to actually be fulfilled. They want a different actually toilet, for example. Is it okay, or is it do they create a safer environment or not? So in your speech we discuss about this issue. Is it okay or not, right? And you want actually audience to believe on what you say based on the fact that you have given. All right, okay, basically there are three important elements in persuasive speech, or ways to persuade through speech. All right, we have actually first logos, Okay, second is ethos, and third is pathos. This is actually from Greek, developed I think by Aristotle and Plato. All right, logos. Basically, we focus on logic and proof. Of course, if you want to actually claim that your statement is true, you must support your statement with logic and proof, right? By giving a benefit, fact, figures, data, numbers, statistics, scientific research, and blah 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 blah. Okay, you have to have proof and evidence, meaning you have to do citation to support your statement or claim. The second is ethos. What is ethos? Is actually the speaker's credibility. This is, you can just understand, you know, if you want to sell a product of a slimming product, for example, of course you have to have a slim body or a healthy body. You cannot, I mean, if you are obese and you want to sell a slimming product, of course you don't have any credibility. Okay, same goes to the politician. If you corrupted, you know, you involve, you claim with a court's case about corruption, and you want to talk about a free corruption country, of course you don't have credibility on that. All right, so ethos focus on the speaker's credibility. So if you want to choose a topic, make sure you are credible enough or caliber enough to talk the issue in your persuasive speech. All right. Basically, we talk about testimonial, the success stories, track record of yourself, and the titles. Actually, will develop the speaker's credibility. All right. Through the delivery, you must use actually eye contact, body language, vocal variety, and poise. Is actually we have discussed this before this in the speech presentation and speech delivery. Okay, you must have credibility not only the topic and you yourself, but also the way you present yourself uh, to the audience. Okay, the third element is, we call it pathos. All right, the emotion that you have when you must appeal. You must have an emotion appeal to the audience. I mean, you have to convince the audience through your emotion. All right, through content, maybe you want to give a positive and negative element. All right, through the stories, maybe sad stories, emotion like frustration, anger, love, or respect, they are mixed up of feeling and emotion. All right, through the delivery, you must have a very good body language. Maybe in a certain extent, if you want to convince the audience, you might cry a little bit. All right, you might show your anger a little bit. Okay, because you want to show, or you want to appeal the emotion of your audience. All right, so this is actually three elements: logos, ethos, and pathos. You can actually refer, if you want to read more, you can refer to e-module. All right, page I will tell in the question answer session later. All right, we continue our slide with we call it Monroe motivated sequence, the established framework that we use in persuasive speech. You can read more in detail in page 158 to 163 in the e-module. Okay, what is actually Monroe motivated sequence? All right, you should understand the five step. Okay, first is attention, second is a need, third is satisfaction, fourth is visualization, and five is action. All right, you should know what is purpose and what is expected audience response on that. Okay, for example, if you use attention, which is the purpose of this aspect is to get or to grab the audience attention, and the audience responded, I want to listen, or I want to hear more. Okay, second aspect is, or second level is a need, where you create the problem. Okay, the problem is related and significant to the audience, and they will say that I agree, there is, or they are the problem exist in our life. All right, and then you provide the satisfaction, or you provide the solution on that problem until they say, I understand your solution and your solution is the best, okay, for us. Next is you provide the visualization, where you have to explain the benefit of your solution. all right, and they agree the solution that you give is the best, nothing can compare to your solution. And last stage is action. To drive action, uh, audience will say, I will do what's required. All right, for example, salesman was, what they hope is at the end, the listener will say, yes, I will buy your product, I will use your service, I will vote for you during the election. This is action that they hope when they give a persuasive speech. Or maybe I will believe what you say, at least, all right, in your persuasive speech. Okay guys, moral motivation actually you cannot use it in your speech. So this slide will show how motivated sequence can fit or can be used practically in our persuasive speech. And I use the title of healthy lifestyle is not an option because I want to convince the audience that you should practice healthy lifestyle because it's a must and compulsory. So in the speech I will discuss on that, and I hope that audience will believe on what I say. This is actually the pure persuasion because I have no interest on that, okay, because I don't sell any product, okay, I just the audience to believe on what I say. All right, how do you actually embed all the element of a motivated moral sequence is first attention. For example, if you want to grab the intention, usually we'll use a visual aids, okay, you can show the pictures, videos and so on. In this context I will show the two videos. Okay, first a video related to healthy lifestyle. Second is a video of unhealthy lifestyle. Maybe first video is about maybe person who jog and eat a very healthy food. Okay, the second video is a person who smoke or who have obese is obesity, have a in the obesity condition. All right, so I want you to compare, and the question that I will ask the audience is which video shows a healthy lifestyle that we should follow, because I want to get I want to gain the attention from the audience and why. All right, so after that you define what is a healthy lifestyle, because we actually want to the audience to get clear what is actually healthy lifestyle. They might have a different definition if we do research on that, and you need a citation on that because of, again, we need a logos aspect. Okay, second sorry, and the next one is you will start your speech. My speech will discuss about healthy lifestyle is not an option, where you put your title on that, and then the preview where you put the needs or you create the problem that relate closely to the audience. You said what are the problem with unhealthy lifestyle. Okay, even though you talk about healthy lifestyle, but you need to create the problem of the opposite view on that. Okay, healthy lifestyle, the opposite view is unhealthy lifestyle. So what are the problem of healthy lifestyle? You should explain and describe closely, uh, related closely to the audience life. All right, and then you provide them the solution which is practical for them to practice. All right, how to practice a healthy lifestyle, okay, as a satisfaction aspect, or where you provide the solution to the audience. And then when you create the visualization, you will explain and discuss about the important and the benefit of healthy lifestyle. Okay, why you should practice, because of you will get a lot of good thing or benefit, so you must adopt or practice a healthy lifestyle. Okay, this is actually visualization aspect. All right, we continue, and then we transition from the introduction. Sorry, yes, from the introduction to the first main point. Okay, this is actually the body. Okay, first main point is we just take from the preview a problem with unhealthy lifestyle. Okay, the first point or the first problem is if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, you will get a lot of diseases. Okay, and you give example. For example, you will get obese. Okay, you will get high blood pressure. Okay, maybe you will get diabetic. All right, cancer maybe. All right, heart. Okay, heart attack, and so on. Okay, so you have to read and do research. What is diseases related to unhealthy lifestyle? Okay, of course you have defined what is a healthy lifestyle, so opposite on that is actually unhealthy lifestyle. All right, and the second problem or second sub point is if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, it will increase living cost of people. Okay, why? Because of people who practice living lifestyle will get a lot of diseases, and then they will use the money to buy the medication. For example, they have to go to the hospital, maybe private hospital. They will have to take insurance and so on. They have to take maybe a product, okay, healthy product, okay, because of they are not healthy and they practice unhealthy lifestyle. All right, and the third problem is if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, you will negatively influence family member. For example, if you smoke, if you smokers, your children will see it and they will follow you. If you eat unhealthy diet, they will also eat unhealthy diet because they will follow you. Okay, so you show a very bad example. So that's why I said it will negatively influence or affect other family members, or maybe relative, or maybe best friend. All right, and so on. And then you give the transition. All right. The second main point is you provide solution on the problem that you explained in the first main point. Okay, the first solution is you must uh, eat healthy diet. And of course, you need a citation to explain what is the definition of healthy diet. How many protein you need to eat, how many carbs you need to eat, how many vegetable and fruit, all right? And do you need to take sugar? How many level of sugar or salt that you need to take to control, to make sure that you don't eat unhealthy diet. All right. Second point, you talk about exercising regularly, usually 3 times a week. Why 3 times a week? You need a citation on that. Explain why 3 times is at least the duration that you need to do when you exercise. All right. The frequency of your physical exercise, basically. All right. And then you say that you must not smoke or take drug because of course it's an unhealthy lifestyle. Of course, you talk about the bad effect of smoking and taking the drug. You need a citation on that. Okay, maybe statistic and so on. Okay, to strengthen your point. And then you provide them solution. Sorry, transition. And then followed by the third main point where you explain about the important or the benefit of having a healthy lifestyle. All right. This actually first benefit is to prevent people to get a chronic diseases, and you give example, and of course you need citation. For example, high blood pressure, diabetic, heart attack, cancer, and so on. Okay, by eating healthy diet, maybe they can prevent from that. Okay, maybe they can prevent from that until the end of their life. And then of course save more money. You don't need to go to the hospital or private hospital. You don't need to buy medication. You don't need to buy a lot of products, you know, to solve the problem. Okay, because you are healthy and you can be healthy without taking all the stuff. All right, so that's why it save more money. And lastly is it will lead to healthy environment and lifestyle of our family. Okay, your children or maybe your wife, your neighbor, your best friend will follow what you are practicing. They will eat a healthy diet. They will keep exercising. Okay, they will not take drug or smoke because they will follow the example of you. Okay, uh, you, for example, you are the family, you are the maybe the family leader. Okay, they will follow what you are doing, and as usual you have transition with the shift from third main point to conclusion. Okay, basically the first main point is actually where you create the need by giving them the problem, and then you provide the solution where you give the satisfaction to the audience, and lastly you provide them the visualization, okay, by explaining the benefit or the importance of having a lifestyle. Okay, this is actually the framework of a motivated Monroe sequence and how you can fit it into your speech outline. Okay, we continue on the conclusion. We still have one last, which is action. Where should you put in? I think you can put in your conclusion. Usually you will start with summary. In conclusion, I have discussed and explained about why having a healthy lifestyle is not an option, and you have listened about, you rewrite the preview, okay, the first main point, the second main point, and the third point. So you have listened about first, second, and third. And lastly, you will provide the audience with concluding remark. You can say, don't wait until tomorrow, because a healthy lifestyle is not an option to you and your family. Okay, this is actually, we call it action. Okay, what action that the audience need to take after they have listened to your speech? Okay, you just can use a one statement or just one sentence uh, to give a big impact to the audience, to at last follow what you are saying, okay, about the benefit of having a lifestyle and so on. And they must remember that having a healthy lifestyle is not option, because it's a compulsory, okay, because they will give a lot of benefit, and if you don't do it, you will involve in a lot of trouble and a lot of problem. And of course, last is bibliography or references that you need to read and to use as a citation when you provide the speech tag. Okay, so the conclusion of our lessons today is, first, persuasive speech goal is to convince or to persuade audience to follow and accept we as a speaker point of view, all right, or follow what we say. Second is, there are two reasons why speakers want to persuade. First is pure persuasion. Second is manipulative persuasion. And I think you have understood what I explained just now in this slide. There are four types of persuasive speech. We have definitional, fact, policy, and value claim, where this aspect that you might debate and explain, and you must actually choose which one is the best. For definition of fact or policy or values discussed in your speech. Third is persuasion can effectively implemented through logos, pathos, and ethos. So logos is actually the logic and the evidence that you provide in your speech. Pathos is the credibility that you have, and ethos is the emotion and the feeling that you bring to appeal in your speech. All right, and the framework that we use in persuasive speech is Monroe motivated sequence, is actually established framework in doing persuasive speech. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening my lessons today. All right, we will discuss further, and if you have a question and answer question, please ask me during the question answer session in this week, inshallah. Okay, guys, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.